All right, friends, we're back, man, with a new video on our Bomba Clot Mon friend, JasonBlaha, the fitness influencer, the gym lifting, recruiting, lifting slave. Yes, I gotta review this video, man. Let's see what Blaha has to say. Controlled reps do not mean go super slow. Okay, controlled reps do not mean go super slow. Whatever.
Hey everybody, it's JasonBlaha here. I thought I would sit down and do another video for you guys and gals.
It is you, JasonBlaha. It's not your twin brother.
Let me get a sip of my water first.
Okay, that is not water, man. That is like Kool-Aid flavored water. You know those dyes are actually really poisonous for you. They lower your testosterone. They do a bunch of weird shit.
Get my beautiful radio voice going and let's talk
They also contribute to dementia and a bunch of other things.
about this. All right. This is kind of in response. I had some guy try to link to me. They didn't like the way I was performing a lift, which was a perfectly controlled lift.
They didn't like the way you were performing a lift? Ooh, I didn't like the way he was performing that lift. Well, then you should lift. I think they should lift the way they feel they should lift. They want to lift. I don't lift for other people. Why don't you just tell them you don't lift for them, Blaha, okay?
And they're trying to tell me, and they sent videos saying, you should be doing, this is control. And they're linking some really super slow stuff.
Oh, this is controlled. How's a controlled going to build a muscle? I know. If it's controlled, it's going to magically get you an adaptation, bro. That's what they're trying to tell you. Man, your subscribers are more stupid than you are, man. Fuck. They think a controlled builds a muscle or a fucking perfect whatever it is they're fucking talking about there.
We need to be very, very clear here. Almost no top bodybuilder in the world has ever done super.
We have to be very, very clear here. Muscle is only ever built through adaptations. An adaptation in food and an adaptation you get at the gym. Okay? If there's no more adaptations, there's a zero in growth. It doesn't matter what your fucking form is, or how controlled it fucking is, or what the fuck you're doing there. If you're some fucking loser in the gym, going in there as a gym fucking lifting slave, pretending in your sick brain, thinking that you're gonna fucking build a muscle by just lifting a weight in the gym, you're crazy. That's where all of you are small running around screaming about fake natties. Get it, man?
For slow training and been successful with it, first of all. So people who promote this need to understand this is not even the guys who are the most jacked historically.
What is this, the most people that are the most jacked historically? There's so many different body types out there. People are taller, bigger, this, stronger, dot. There's so many things out there. What's jacked, bro? What's jacked? I don't know. There's always going to be somebody bigger or stronger than you out there in the world. It's like that, no matter what. And then there's those that are going to cheat to be stronger and better than you are, okay? They're going to pretend they have genetics. They're going to inject them fakely, fake genetics, plant genetics.
Research on super slow training has generally showed when you go really slow, you gain less muscle. Apparently it creates so much fatigue and so many metabolites that it interferes in the set with actually getting quality recruitment of the...
Hold on, if you go really slow, it's going to contribute to muscle growth? How does going slow make a muscle grow? Like, how does a weight make a muscle grow? I don't get it. Are you talking about RAWs and hypoxia? Like cell swelling, mechanical tension? Like, what are you talking about there, man? That's temporary. Again, I know so many people going to the gym. They get this hypoxia, they lift weights, they do their HIIT training, they do whatever it is the fuck they're doing there. And the cell swells, but it's temporary. It's called cell swelling, okay? It's temporary. It's inflammatory. It's inflammation in the cell. And you inflame it, and then you walk around with inflamed muscles. And then you pretend that you're big. A lot of you call it the pump, cell swelling, whatever. So that's what he's talking about.
The higher threshold motor units, which are the ones that are going to grow once you get done with a novice phase. So we need to be clear.
Higher threshold motor units, those are the ones that are going to grow? How are they going to grow? What type of growth is this?
on that. So what do we mean? Control would be, all right, here's a bench, right? Lower it, bench, right? Lower it,
Lower it and bench. Okay.
bench. Super slow is when guys are trying to slow.
And you need a coach for this. Why? You can't do it yourself?
5 seconds down, right? And then up. That doesn't work. The research has shown it causes less muscle growth.
See, it causes less cell swelling, phony cell swelling. You have to, going too slow doesn't cause it to swell up enough. Listen to Blaha.
Nobody believes this. I don't know why there's anyone even promoting it. Same.
I mean, I love one of these guys wrote me on my comment section about Alex Leonidas, and they go, it's not the driver of growth. It's some muscle damage. Muscle damage is something else. They says mechanical tension is the driver of growth. Okay, but he doesn't explain how mechanical tension drives growth. He doesn't say it. He just says mechanical tension drives growth. Muscle damage is something else. It doesn't drive growth. He doesn't prove that muscle damage doesn't drive growth. Muscle damage drives growth. It depends on what type of growth it drives, you dingbat. The guy that wrote me in the comment section, you idiot.
Like a lateral raise.
Muscle can grow many ways. It can be transient, if you understand what that means. Temporary growth. Duh. It ain't permanent.
You know, they're like, there's a guy linking me, and it's like all the way up like this, and then all the way down like this.
I don't know how many people go to the gym and all they do is inflame their muscles on a daily and accelerate aging. That accelerates aging. That's stress. That cell swelling, that inflammation. Inflammation is the driver of chronic disease eventually as you get older, lifting weights. That's why lifting has no health benefits. Lifting has no health benefits. If anything, it could corrupt your health. You have to be very careful with it if you understand how to use it as a tool. It can be used as a tool, but it can also be used and cause you chronic diseases. People that work in jobs, labor jobs, they get disease. That they learned this a long time ago. That's why they have them circulate on a car plant, in a car plant, working on car parts or whatever the hell they're doing. They're building cars. They never keep them on one job long enough. They keep circulating them to different areas of the job because they know they'll end up with a chronic disease if you do something repetitively. While you are going to the gym, lifting in a repetitive motion. You understand me? And muscles, they're adapted. They only ever get adaptations to what? Unaccustomed exercise, untrained muscles, and unfamiliar forms get adaptations. That's the whole point going to a gym, to get an adaptation. It isn't, I got to go there forever, chronically lifting, cell swelling, and so I could get a chronic disease, like factory workers, duh. Oh, I really need carpal tunnel syndrome, right? Or, stenosis or some shit or whatever. You know what I mean? Or some nerve damage or some shit doing chronic movement, these chronic movements repetitively over and over and over and over again. Jesus Christ.
Not causing muscle growth. Strict and controlled would just be like, this is it, right? Even like this is still, hitting the table, is still controlled. You're controlling the eccentric. So
he's controlling the concentric. Oh, man. Okay, and?
When people talk about controlling the eccentric, that's what they mean, right? They're not talking about 5 seconds, because what did the research always show years ago looking at this? The sweet spot was between 1 and 4 seconds on an eccentric. Now people say, so why wouldn't you do 4? Because 1 to 2 seconds produced the same results. When you went really fast, you did need a little more volume, a little more work to get ideal muscle growth. That's kind of what was found.
Man, the growth. What growth is it? Is it sarcoplasmic, or is this hypoxia? Is this cell swelling? What growth? Transient? What is this growth he's talking about? So if you're talking about muscle damage, and you're going to say this is going to cause the most muscle damage and in turn give you growth when protein synthesis exceeds that breakdown. It's the whole point.
Wasn't perfectly ideal. But then we come over to when they started getting past 4 seconds, you start hitting 5 seconds and up, it just produced less muscle growth. Okay, this is what the experts are saying. And then on the concentric reps,
What type of muscle growth? There's more than one.
there's no need to try to be slow on it. Intentionally slowing it down instead of just control is not helping.
How can lifting your arm build a muscle? I'll tell you how. Inflammation. That's it. Or ATP, sarcoplasmic. Glycogen loading. For every gram of glycogen, 3 grams of water drawn in the skin and the muscle when you move the weight up and down. So there you go. That's what you're growing in the gym. ATP and fucking cell swelling. That's the only thing that can come to mind. Now, muscle damage, that's not associated with any growth in a gym. You grow outside the gym after you get the damage. What grows it? Food. Food grows muscles. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry to break the bubble, bro. I have to inform you. Food builds muscles after they get damaged. But a cell swelling, that's nothing to do with that. And neither does ATP. This glycogen shit. It's fake.
Your muscle fiber recruitment. It's just not. And people can talk about outside inertia, but it's not outside inertia if your muscles get the weight started. Okay? If you're cheating, yes. But if your pecs are doing the pressing, it's fine. Control it on the way down. Couple seconds, a 2-second negative will give you as much possible muscle growth as you're going to get from the eccentric.
See? That pause, couple of seconds, is going to give you as much growth as possible. In what? Cell swelling. What's that? Inflammation. Inflammaging. And maybe if you're eating like complex carbohydrates, some pump there, the pump. Glycogen loading in there.
And push it up fairly fast. Not saying we have to use compensatory acceleration on every rep. But this is what we have to look at. But people come up with these dingbat ideas, and they need to understand time under tension is not an accepted scientific thing. People are like, well, it creates.
That's why he's not growing. He's a failure. He weighs like, I don't know, 100 and something pounds. He's a failure.
More time under tension. But that's not necessarily useful. Time under tension creates fatigue. It doesn't necessarily create.
Time under tension. Listen to what he says. Time under tension creates fatigue. Yeah, what is a fatigue? Does that sound like myofibular growth? Fatigue? The two words don't mean the same.
Muscle fiber recruitment. And what we have to remember, what is the goal of the lifting?
Okay, you're recruiting muscle fibers to move something, okay? You're recruiting it. Okay. How are you recruiting it? Easy. You grab a weight and you start pulling it. And so all the muscle fibers, they start to engage. What do? They start firing like crazy. The motor units, the CNS, the nervous system starts firing to move that weight. That's it.
What is the goal of our lifting? What is the goal of any set on a muscle that you're trying to get to grow? Our goal should be to ideally get to the highest threshold muscle fibers and have them perform multiple repetitions. That is the goal. Our goal is to fatigue those. We don't care as much about...
No, you don't want to fatigue him. You want to get an adaptation. Look, the whole point of going to a gym or anywhere or doing any sports that you're into is to do as many of these movements as possible, something that you've never done before in that, whatever is that movement, that exercise, and get an adaptation out of it. And if you're lucky, maybe you may get another one, a second and a third one. If you're lucky enough. Out of the same movement, which is difficult, unless, of course, you need to move the weight a bit higher, or you move the repetitions a bit higher. See what I mean? To cause that damage. But again, the body rapidly adapts by repairing and remodeling that muscle stronger so it is resistant from further assaults. You understand me? It's protecting it, and it's kind of hiding in type 1. So it's really hard. It's really hard to bring these adaptations back. One way of bringing them back is resensitizing, and a muscle has to be repaired and remodeled. It won't assault. It won't get assaulted. These other fibers, they won't allow them to get assaulted until it is repaired and remodeled. That's another thing. So resensitization, if you go away from it for a whole week, you come back, you resensitize. Your lifts get better too. You get stronger. That's the whole thing. You get more of these androgen receptors. They're able to accumulate the motor units. They reorganize, and you even become stronger on your lifts because you're resensitized. That's the whole point in lifting, to understand these modalities. Man, it's crazy what this guy's doing.
The other fibers, people say, well, I do. Well, why? Go jogging.
Go jogging?
Evidence has shown over the years looking at it, the longer you've been training, the less the slowest twitch fibers can grow. Because again, keep in mind you have a wide variety of ranges.
As you get older, there's a study out there. I should put on my community section. I don't know. There was this one about 83-year-olds, 94. I think I put it there before a while ago. Certain things, the satellite cell pool, it remains the same. It doesn't expand anymore as an older person. I don't know why. I don't know. Even no matter they were lifting heavy, these older groups, 80 years old to 94 or some shit.
Okay, wide variety of ranges. You've probably like 20 subtypes.
But I have a feeling why they couldn't expand the satellite cell pool. I have that feeling. I have a feeling why they couldn't, but anyway.
But if you break them into just the slow and the medium and the fast twitch, even for novice lifters, the fast twitch do grow more than the others. Okay? Like the slowest twitch fibers only grow about 10-15% in total size for a novice in their first few months in the gym.
No, they don't. They grow in accordance with the laws of nature. They grow through adaptations. No more adaptations, no more growth. It doesn't matter what you do there. Shit. Is this guy stupid or what?
Right? Or is it like the fast twitch can grow?
Have you ever heard the law of nature? If you go against nature and you eat food you're not supposed to, then you're going to pay. You break the law of nature. You are a carnivore. And when you eat food outside your diet or smoke or do weird things or put drugs in your body, you're breaking the laws of nature and you're going to suffer for it. How? You're going to pay the price. Okay, when you do all these crazy exercises and weird things that you're doing, it's not based on an adaptation system and now you're adapted. You're going to pay the price. You're breaking the laws of nature. Nature doesn't like, your body doesn't like to be stressed. It doesn't like to do work. It just wants to eat and procreate. This is what your body wants to do in nature. It wants to eat and procreate and die. That's it.
Up to like 60% bigger. Now people say, well, that's still, a fair amount, still some growth there. There is.
And your body's based on an adaptation system. Muscle fibers get damaged in an adaptation. And then they repair and remodel stronger and make you better at doing that thing or whatever it was you were doing there. Yeah. But this whole thing, people are pushing it to another level. They're adapted, and now they're pushing the motor units and the androgen receptors through an adaptation process, stressing the body to lift a heavier weight so they could be a small, strong guy instead of being a big, strong guy. So here's the thing. They want to be a small, strong guy. They don't want to be a big, strong guy. See that? So that's the difference.
Intermediate somewhere in between, but here's what happens. The longer you...
That's like Blaha. He wanted to be a small, strong guy. He didn't want to be a big, strong guy. And now he realized he wants to be, a physique star, bodybuilder. He wants to be a big, strong guy. Because when he walks in the street, they don't see him as a strong guy. They just see him as a small, weak guy. Get it?
Train, the more years you train, the more months, the more years you train, the more that ratio shifts. In other words,
no, the more frequent you train, You're adapted. You understand me? It's the less frequently you train, the more you are able to get these adaptations. The less is more. More is less. It's just like that in this world. You understand me?
That's almost a defining characteristic of a more advanced lifter, when those other fibers don't grow.
Dude, I gotta tell you, I'm an advanced lifter. And I hardly ever lift. I hardly ever lifted in my entire life. But I am a very advanced lifter. I mean super advanced. Because I get what I want. I get what I want out of it. And I'm even an older person. My body doesn't work the same as it did when it was younger. I could eke out better adaptations as a younger person for sure. As an older person, but those things don't wear on my mind. That I'm so old that I'm not able to get these adaptations. I know science already has corroborated that you can get more of these nuclei and muscle fibers and everything. It's strongly correlated. It's not correlated with age. You can still get it. You can still get it throughout a lifetime. It's all the possibilities all there. So it's just a matter of what you want to do. But you don't want to be a lifting slave, a gym slave, bro.
When the fibers in the middle and the bottom can't grow anymore, that's usually that's more or less, if we were to discuss, because people say, well, what defines is what lifts? Well, it's not just about programming, it's also about how advanced your musculature is. Those slower twitch fibers, and to some extent intermediate and others, have a finite amount of muscle growth, and that starts slowing down a lot. And they can actually...
They have a finite amount of muscle growth. They have an MND size limit, yeah. And it doesn't slow down. It needs more of these nuclei to support further muscle growth. Without them, they synthesize protein. Without them, you can't further that domain.
Actually reach their potential, the biggest they're going to get from lifting, assuming no change in your hormone environment, meaning you didn't get a lot older, hormones went down, or you didn't put other anabolic hormones into your body through some other method.
Oh, bro, here we go with the fake drugs again, because he's so fake. Everybody's got to be on drugs, bro, to fake it. Of course, like Blaha.
Now, that can cause some growth again in those areas, but it's not from...
That's not going to cause growth. That's going to cause temporary phony growth, okay?
Lifting. From lifting, you're going to reach a point to where your faster twitch muscle fibers are the only ones that are going to grow. So any training,
Your faster twitch muscle fibers are going to grow?
set that does not stimulate those is probably not helping you grow. What do we mean stimulate them? If you're doing sets to where they're too fatigued to be recruited again, it's junk volume.
They're too fatigued to be recruited again. Yeah, I don't understand this, but okay. You're adapted. What's the point?
You do any set that doesn't really get to them because other fatigue is created, meaning you're just going so slow with so light of a weight that it's all intermediate fibers, and those just seem to be restricted due to metabolites.
Man, like I said, a lot of these hypertrophies are not subjugated to the domain limit. Like sarcoplasmic hypertrophy is not restrained by the follistatin, myostatin, and satellite cell. It's not controlled by it. Neither is blood flow restriction. Neither is this what he's talking about. Whatever this fatigue bullshit. Whatever cell swelling. They're not controlled by these things. The myonuclear domain is highly controlled by follistatin, myostatin, and the satellite cell. But when the satellite cell is activated, it cannot be. The myostatin hormone cannot occupy the same space. They cannot occupy the same space the satellite cell that when it's activated. Okay, that's how you suppress myostatin when you activate the satellite cell. How do you activate it? Through muscle damage. That's how. How does it further this domain? It donates its nuclei to that domain. They fuse to myofibers to further that domain and create new myofibers and myotubes and sarcomeres in parallel and a whole bunch of stuff, okay? Jesus. It's not hard to understand this.
And other things occurring that prevent them from recruiting, because that can also be a thing. Or they haven't recovered enough from one session to the other to actually be recruited again sufficiently and to be stimulated. It's all junk volume. You're not growing from it. And I think that's a big factor into why this sort of training in the lab hasn't produced results. So when people are telling you to do this, they do not understand the body, they do not understand training.
Ask yourself this question: why are bigger people stronger than smaller people? Why are big people stronger than smaller people? Because bigger is always stronger. You think elephants are scared of like fucking rhinoceroses? Rhinoceroses are big. But an elephant is bigger. He's not scared of the rhinoceros. They don't lift weights. They don't go to a gym. Let me explain this. In the animal kingdom, these animals do not go to gyms. They do not work out. Lions are pretty strong, right? So, well, they're built, they weigh like 700, 600, 500 pounds, whatever. Okay, that's nice, these tigers and everything. But when a fucking elephant comes around, you think he's scared of these stupid little lions and tigers and shit? Hell no, man. He steps on them like cockroaches. You understand me? And neither are rhinoceroses. They're not really scared of fucking whatever. These other fucking animals that roam out there, okay? Hippopotamuses and fucking, I don't know, whatever else is out there, because they're bigger. They're the second largest after elephants. But again, elephants are bigger. They're stronger. So bigger people are always going to be stronger than the little strong guy lifting a weight in the gym. The little guy that's got to run around and say, look, but I'm a small, strong guy. Pooh. He's trying to make you feel inferior, and he's trying to get one on you and try to pretend that he's superior. But he'll never be superior than you because you're bigger than him. And if you're bigger, you're stronger. It doesn't matter how much the little strong guy lifts off the floor, like Blaha. Blaha's a small, strong guy. Okay? He's a fake strong guy.
In response. And I promise you, anyone who's training
Bigger, taller people are always stronger than little, strong guys.
Exclusively that way, because obviously most people are doing mixed types of training. They're doing everything really slow and really light. If they're gaining muscle, it's probably only because of what they're putting into their body at that point. It's not from the training, because they're not.
Oh, it's not from the training. It's what they're putting in there. Artificial, bro.
Not sufficiently getting to those fibers. So when we talk about being controlled, we don't mean really slow. We mean having some control. You're not just letting the weight drop, right? In other words,
well, you shouldn't let a heavy weight drop. You might cause an injury. Hello, that's about the only reason you're controlling it, to support so you don't get injured.
Your benching doesn't just go right. Control, right? Rep, boom, control. Without cheating, without swinging. That's what we mean by control. We don't mean going super slow, because they're not the same thing in terms of training stimulus. Glad we got that out of the way.
Wow, training stimulus, man. I think I lost a few IQ points listening to this dude, man. That's why if I listened to him and did his training, I'd be a failure like him. You become a failure like this dude. This is crazy.
All right, guys, but that's really all.
I say in our own right, people are all looking to be the best version of themselves. I don't know what version you want to be. I know what version I want to be. I can't dictate what other people want to be, what version of body or look or what they're trying to accomplish. But in reality, you should try to want to accomplish the best version of yourself, regardless of what genetics you were dished out in this reality. I don't know. I can't tell you. But I say, you are trying to become a better version of yourself. That's about it. I'm not trying to make fun of small, strong guys or anything like that. I'm saying that everybody in their own right is trying to become a better version of themselves. But if you're trying to get one over on other people because you're a genetic failure, and so you want to inject genetics and pretend that you're better than these other people, you're crazy. You understand me? You're crazy, because people can see right through you. People see right through all of this bullshit. They're not that stupid. I mean, they may be influenced, young people. They're easily influenced and duped, but they're still not that stupid. It's transparent. They can see through bullshit.
All I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys and gals next time.
Man, that was very uninformative, but whatever. I'll see you in the next one. Tell what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel, helps with the algorithm. Blaha, man, I don't know, man, where he comes up with this stuff, but whatever. He's a poor coach. He's not my coach, that's for sure. See you later.